everybody. It's Darlene with Featherweight Doctor. I'm back home, which kind of makes me a little sad and a little happy at the same time. You guys, I've been living in a tiny house for like almost 2 weeks, and this house has many rooms I can walk into it and close the door. All of a sudden, my little 1,700 square foot house feels like a mansion. That's what happens when you live in one bedroom, or basically one room for 2 weeks. I wanted to show you guys, I got a present today. It's from Mom, but it still kind of counts. Look at how cute this is. It's a mug rug. Oh, I should probably make sure I'm on Facebook. Let me double check that. Hang on. Did everybody have a good weekend? I have my daughter helping me with my camera today because we're going to talk about upper tension assembly tension issues. Let's make sure I'm on. There I am. Cool. Okay. If you're on Facebook, snort or wave or sneeze, something, so I can see who's all here. Oh, there already is. Oh, Becky's on. Becky, I got your message about the 2 cone converters. I'll call you for that other one tomorrow. We literally, guys, have been home for like an hour, so I haven't had time to do anything. Hi, Susie from Arizona. And Linda Wood is saying hi from Texas. Hi, guys. Okay, so you guys like my little, look, it's a Kimberbell thing. Isn't it cute? Okay. So today is Ask the Doctor. Today is the day that I put my lab coat on in an official status, and I answer questions about these little antique stitchers. And before I get into that, I got the idea today for this video because I visited, I did a, what's it called when a doctor goes to the house? Not a home visit. I did a house call for a little pink machine on my way home from northern Idaho to Seattle. I took an hour-and-a-half detour down in the Pasco, Washington area and fixed a machine. And one of the things messed up with it was the upper tension assembly. So I thought I would teach you guys how to do what I call the quick thread. And I just realized that I don't have any thread. Oh, right there. Look at that. Ask you shall receive. Okay. So how we're gonna recalibrate this upper tension assembly so you guys know what the correct numbers are and what the assembly pieces are. Also, if Sharon and Rick Woodard are watching, thank you very much for your hospitality this morning. It was absolutely amazing to see all of your quilts and your workshops and your 4 adorable doggies. Okay, so one of the common tension problems that you can have with your upper tension assembly, Ray, come around back here, is when you're using your tensioner, you can adjust this knob up and down, but it doesn't really have any bearing on the actual tension. And that is actually a very common thing that when these come through our shop, and there's a quick and easy fix. I'll show you specifically what I'm talking about. So technically speaking, when the machine is calibrated properly, this machine is one of our machines for sale. She's a beautiful 1952 from the Great Britain plant. And I haven't done too much with her since she arrived. But technically the 0 should be straight up. And when it's a 0 straight up, that means that it technically has no tension. Let me just get this seated right there. So 0 straight up, it means no tension. So what you do is you're going to go ahead and what I call a quick thread. You're going to go through the little hook through the hamburger discs. So the tension discs are in back here and they kind of look like hamburger buns, and you're going to make sure the thread always makes it into the hamburger buns because otherwise the tensioner isn't really engaged. All right, so you're just going to go from the spool to the hook through the hamburger buns and make sure the take-up spring catches it, and then you're going to put the presser foot down and pull. When your tensioner is at 0 straight up, you should have 0 tension. So what that means is I should just feel a slight pressure on the thread as I'm pulling it through. I actually don't feel any, it's just free flowing. So I'm going to push this in and tighten this. It's righty-tighty, and give it just a little bit more there. Okay. Okay, so that's too much. I got a little carried away, got a little overzealous. So I'm going to go back, lefty-loosey again, snap it in. Okay, so I would call the pressure on the string light pressure. Then when this is set to 0 and it's light pressure, when you turn this to 3 or 4, that means that your tension is set properly. But this one isn't even set right. So let's talk about what happens when you pull this apart. Again, this just came in. I haven't done anything with it. So I'm going to take all this back. I'm going to hold this all in. I'm going to unscrew this nut here. And I'm going to pop off the number thing. All right, so there's your dial. There's the little pin. Pointer, the pin should be pointed at you. This is the common thing that I see when they come in the shop, that this pin is turned the other way and it's pointed into the machine, which means the machine isn't actually tensioning anything. So there'll be a spring in here, and it's always pointed, the inside of the spring is always pointed into the machine. And then there is the housing that holds it all, and the tension discs and the take-up spring. So what I'm going to do to put this back together is I'm going to hold this assembly together. I'm going to put the take-up lever at about 7 o'clock here, and I'm going to slide this on like so, maybe. There it goes. And then when I have it all in, I'm going to put this up above the little notch that holds it so it has a good, about spring on it. I'm going to put the housing on, the spring pointed in the middle. That's the next step. The little pin pointed out towards me, like so. And then I'm going to put my number dial with the 2 straight up. Like 2 straight up like that. And then I'm going to tighten this little nut on. Thanks, Bridget. She says she likes my terminology. My husband gets embarrassed because he thinks that it sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about. The fact is I totally know what I'm talking about. I just think hamburger bun sounds better than tension discs. And I'm kind of hungry because it's dinner time. All right. So now this is put back together. I'm going to try the quick tension assembly here, like so. And I think that's too tight. So I'm going to just lefty-loosey this a little bit there, making sure that I'm out. And that's better. So then when I come to 3 or 4, this is the proper tension. So this machine is what I would call calibrated properly. Hey, Lisa Meadows. All right. So that is how you disassemble and reassemble your tension assembly. All right, you can back off. So if all of that was a little bit much for you to digest in a few minutes, we have a rather popular YouTube video that my husband put together. And in fact, it's if you have the pre-war machines that do not have the number dials on them, I think it has about 100,000 views on it. Go out to YouTube, look for Featherweight Doctor, and look for, it's like our most popular video. And it's not even me, imagine that. And it's my husband dissecting and putting together the vintage one that doesn't have the numbers on it. Some people think when they look at those pre-war machines and it doesn't have any number dials on it, they think that it's not complete. It's actually complete. That's how it came from factory. And they're a lot fussier to tension properly. So check out that video on YouTube. Also, we have a number of resource manuals that talk about the order in which the upper tension assembly goes back together. So the service manual has it in it, which is $10 on the website, featherweightdoctor.com. Dave McCollum, Mr. McCollum's book, The Featherweight and I, has an extensive, that's where the whole quick tension idea came from, is Mr. McCollum's book, The Featherweight and I, and that sells for $40 on the website. I don't think it's in your regular manual, the different components of it. So you can go ahead and check out those resources on the website. If you guys have any other questions for me to talk about during the Ask the Doctor series every Monday, I would love to have you email me in at info@featherweightdoctor.com. And I always forget to ask this, but please like this video, whether you're watching us on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, and feel free to share it out to your featherweight friends. All of those little activities really helps us on the social media platform. On Wednesday this week, I have Alicia from Featherweight 38. She's another featherweight boss babe from Ohio. I'm totally excited to talk to her. Her and I have been buddies for about a year or so. She's had a wedding this year. Lots of fun stuff going on in Alicia's life. So we're going to catch up with her. And Friday, I'll be right back here for my Sip and Sew. I did a EPP, an English paper piecing project last week, and you guys cracked me up. You were like, Darlene, where's your featherweight? You're sewing by hand, right, Whitney Bruce? I should be back to actually sewing on my Tula quilt. I made huge progress this week while we were in the wilds of northern Idaho. So hopefully I'll have some big hunks of completed quilt to show you, if not the finished project. So we'll have to just wait and see how much time I have this week. I just want to thank everybody for joining me. Oh, Linda Wood said this is her birth year, 1952, Linda. How many featherweights do you have? Do you need another one? Just kidding. Anyway, I hope everybody has a great Monday and a great rest of your week. And I just thank you from the bottom of my heart.